Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmates. My topic is about establishing a brand positioning. Once they have fashioned the brand positioning strategy, marketers should communicate it to everyone in the organization so it guides their words and action. So, dapat sa company ninyo, mahalaga na pinag-uusapan ninyo yung brand positioning strategy ninyo or nakakapag-communicate kayo sa bawat isa sa loob ng organization nyo para mag-guide sila or alam nila yung mga sasabihin or yung mga gagawin nila. One helpful schematic with which to do so is a brand positioning bullseye. Marketing memo constructing a brand positioning bullseye outlines one way marketers can formally express positioning without skipping any steps. Pwede ka namang formally mag-express or pwede mong express yung positioning mo nang hindi mo na kailangan pa na i-skip yung ibang steps. Kumbaga, pwede mong gawin yun lahat while you are doing establishing your brand positioning. Communicating category membership. Category membership may be obvious. Target customers are aware that Maybelline is a leading brand of cosmetics. Cheerios is a leading brand of cereal. Accenture is a leading consulting firm, and so on. When a product is new, marketer must inform consumers of the brand category membership. Sometimes, consumers may know the category membership but not convinced the brand is valid member of the category. They may be aware that HP produce digital cameras, but they may not be certain whether HP cameras are the same class as those made by Canon, Nikon, and Sony. In this instance, HP might find it useful to reinforce category membership. Brands are sometimes affiliated with categories in which they do not hold membership. This approach is one way to highlight the brand point of difference, providing consumers know its actual membership. Instead of putting it in the frozen pizza category, the marketers of DiGiorno frozen pizza have positioned it in the delivery pizza category with ads that claim it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. Similarly, pay channel HBO has developed originality edgy programming to justify its premium fee, adapting the slogan, it's not TV, it's HBO. Ibig sabihin sa communicating category membership, ayun nga yung sa example is yung yung alam mo na yung brand na yun is yung sa camera nga, example is yung sa camera na HP, tapos hindi ka aware na yung HP na yun na camera ay pareho ng class or same class sila sa mga Canon, Nikon, and Sony. Maybe pare-pareho silang camera pero iba-iba yung brand nila. Parang yung sa cosmetics, hindi dahil pare-pareho sila na cosmetics, ibig sabihin, same na sila ng product. Magkakaiba sila, tas mga magkaka-competitive sila, magkakalaban sila. At importanteng malaman mo or makapag-communicate ka sa category ng membership kasi yung sa membership is yung brand by brand. So, dapat malaman mo or maging aware ka na yung category na yun is hindi dahil parehas sila na camera, ibig sabihin same na sila dun sa ibang brand ng camera. Constructing a brand positioning bullseye. A brand bullseye provides content and context to improve everyone's understanding of the position of a brand in the organization. Here we look at a hypothetical Starbucks example. Yung sa brand bullseye provide, yung sa pagko-construct nun, ito yung may content at saka yung context. Content yung nilalaman, context yung mo nakasulat dun sa content. So, mahalaga na malaman mo yung content and context mo kasi it will help to improve everyone's understanding and nakakatulong to sa mga members ng organization. Malaman nila yung pagpo-position or yung sa positioning branding nila. Yun nga yung sa hypothetical Starbucks. Yung example niya, yun nasa baba. In the inner two circles is the art of the bullseye. Key points of parity and points of difference should be made as specific as possible without being too narrow. A POD of gives confidence for PNG bounty paper towels known as the quicker picker upper is very broad compared to the much more brand relevant POD of helps to relieve tense situations. In the next circle out are the substantiators or reasons to believe or RTBT attributes or benefits that provide factuals or demonstrate support for the points of parity and points of difference. Boxes outside the bullseye provide useful context and interpretation. To the left, two boxes highlight some of the input to the positioning analysis. One includes the consumer's targets and a key insight about consumers' attitude or behavior that significantly influence the actual positioning. The other provides competitive information about the key consumers' need the brand is attempting to satisfy and some competitive products or brands that need suggests. To the right of the bullseye, one box offers a big picture view of the output, the ideal consumers takeaway if the brand positioning efforts are successful. So, ayan makikita nyo dyan sa ayan yung example na yun, yung picture dyan is a building strong brands. So, ayan makikita nyo na naman siya guys. Ayan ang hypothetical example of a Starbucks brand positioning bullseye. Yan yung dapat na sinasaalang-alang nyo if ever that you are about to establishing a brand positioning. So, yun yung the typical approach of positioning is to inform consumers of a brand membership before stating its points of difference. Presumably, consumer need to know what the product is and what function it serves before deciding whether it is superior to the brand against which it competes. For new product, initial advertising often concrete on creating brand awareness and subsequent advertising attempts to create the brand image. Ally Bank tapped into this trust of financial institution to stake out a unique position. Ally Financial daw yung isa sa mga example ng unique positioning. So, ano nga ba ang Ally Financial? So, makikita nyo yung drawing ng Ally dyan. So, yun, Ally Financial and rebranding GMAC Financial as Ally Financial and launching its Ally Bank subsidiary. The firm initially ran a campaign featuring a smarmy man in a suit who symbolically represented the typical bank, being mean to unsuspecting children who symbolically represented typical bank customers. The idea was to show Ally Bank as simple and direct. One ad had the sleek spokesperson sitting with two young girls at a small table asking one of them whether she wanted a pony. When the girl said yes, he gave her a small toy pony. When the other girl said yes, he gave her a real pony. The clearly unhappy first girl asked why she didn't get a real pony, and the man answered, "In effect, you didn't ask." Having establishing initial awareness, the campaign developed a straightforward positioning with several follow-ups ads relaying your money needs an ally team and touting customers' ability to reach human at Ally Bank instead of machine. In the dry cleaner ad, seemingly real customer of a dry cleaner are captured by a hidden cameras that attempt to cope with the blunder that the sign indicates they should use for help. The ad ends with the words, Ally Bank, helpful people, not machine. So, sa Ally people, yung kung ano yung pangangailangan ng tao, yun yung parang binibigay nila or yun yung mas pinapriority nila. Kaya sabi nila, Kaya nga siya yung isa sa mga example ng institution na stake out the unique positioning. Kasi, alam mo yun, unique kasi yung yung unique kasi sila. So, sinabi nga nila na Ally Bank help people, not machine. Hindi yung machine yung tinutulungan nila, kundi mismo yung tao na nangangailangan na yun. And yung isang example nga dun is yung about sa pony. Kumbaga, hindi mo pa siya tinatanong, pero naibigay na sa'yo yung bagay na yun. So, ayan yung mga example niya. Yun nga yung use blender for help. Ally Bank helpful people, not machine. Parang yung logo nila or yung something na motto nila. Tapos, Ally Bank, your money needs an ally. Tapos, ayan yung kanilang drawing. There are 3 main ways to convey a brand's category membership. May 3 ways to convey daw ang ating brand category membership. The number 1 is announcing category benefits. To reassure consumers that the brand will deliver on the fundamental reasons for using a category, marketers frequently use benefits to announce category membership. Thus, industrial tools might claim to have durability and antacids might announce their efficacy. A brownie mix might attain membership in the bike dessert category by claiming the benefits of great taste and support this claim by including high-quality ingredients, performance, or by showing users delighting in its consumption or imagery. Sa announcing category benefits is yung category, yung beneficyong makukuha mo dun sa product na yun. Tapos next is yung compared to exemplars, well-known, noteworthy brand in a category can also help a brand specify its category membership. When Tommy Hilfiger was an unknown, advertising announced his status as a great US designer by associating him with Geoffrey Bean, Sally Blacker, Calvin Klein, and Perry Ellis, recognized member of that category. Yung sa ikukumpara mo yung dalawang bagay. Tapos next is yung relying on the product descriptor. The product descriptor that follows the brand name is often a concise means of conveying category origin. Ford Motor Co. invested more than $1 billion in a radical new 2004 model called the X-Trainer, which combined attributes of an SUV, a minivan, and a station wagon to communicate its unique position and to avoid association with its Explorer and Country Square models. The vehicle, eventually called Bristol, was designated a sports wagon. Communicating POPs and PODs. We saw above that common challenges in positioning is the many of the benefits and make-up points of parity and points of difference are negatively correlated. ConAgra must convince consumers that healthy choice frozen foods both taste good and are good for you. Consider this example of negativity correlated attributes and benefits. So, ayan, nakalagay dyan. Sa ating example is yung low price versus high quality taste versus low calories, nutritious versus good tasting, efficacious versus mild, powerful versus safe, strong versus refined, ubiquitous versus exclusive, varied versus simple. So, sa lahat ng bagay, mayroong negative at positive. Kumbaga, sa pagko-communicating, hindi may iwasan na may positive tong effect, tapos may negative effect din siya. So, sa lahat naman ng bagay is may siyang positive at negative. Kaya yun, sa communicating POPs and PODs, yun, makikita natin dyan na yung low price versus high quality. Meron kasi ng mga brand which is mababa yung presyo niya pero maganda yung quality niya. Meron naman mataas yung price, maganda yung quality. Meron namang mababa yung price niya, mababa rin yung quality niya. So, ayun, meron talaga siyang positive at negative effects. Starting competition. Positioning requires an organizational commitment. It is not something that is constantly overhauled or changed. At the same time, it is important to regularly research the desirability, deliverability, and differentiability of the brand, pops, and pods in the marketplace to understand how the brand positioning might need to evolve or, in relatively rare cases, be completely replaced. So, yung monitoring competition, importante na minomonitor mo yung sa pakikipag-compete mo sa kanila. So, required doon yung commitment or yung kailangan yung sa product nyo, commitment kayo or committed kayo dun sa ginagawa ninyo. So, kumbaga parang sa yung relasyon nyo or ayun nga, para mag-work yung inyong product or kayo sa organization ninyo. Meron dito, in assessing potential threats from competitors, 3 high-level variables are useful. Yung una is yung share of market, which is the competitor's share of the target market. So, share of market is yung sa competitors mo, alam mo yung target market mo, kung ano yung target market na ginagawa mo. Tapos, pangalawa is yung share of mind, the percentage of customers who name the competitors in responding to the statement, name the first company that comes to mind in this industry. So, yung sa share of mind, yung kung ano yung nasa isip mo, kung ano yung unang pumasok sa isip mo, na name ng company o ng first company na yon is sa industriyang to. So, paano yung percentage ng customers mo na magpapangalan dun sa competitor mo or magre-respond sila dun sa statements na yun. Pangatlo is share of heart, the percentage of customers who name the competitors and responded to the statement, name the company from which you would prefer to buy the product. So, yung doon, syempre may mga customers na tinatanong or binibigay opinion nila regarding sa kung saan nila gustong bumili o kung saan nila prefer na bilhin yung product na yun. Kasi may mga different naman tayong taste and hindi lahat ng gusto natin gusto ng iba. Merong iba na gusto natin, na gusto nila, pero hindi lahat ng gusto natin ay pwedeng gusto nila. Same, vice versa. Sila hindi rin pwede na yung gusto nila, gusto natin. Or yung ayaw nila, ayaw natin. So, ganon. Kakaiba tayo ng perspective, magkakaiba tayo ng taste, magkakaiba tayo ng gusto sa buhay. May pagkakaparehas tayo, pero hindi lahat magkakaparehas. May pagkakaiba at may pagkakaiba pa rin siya. So, there's an interesting relationship among these three measures. So, ayan sa example, sa table 10.3, ayan yung picture dyan. Show them as recorded for 3 hypothetical competitors. Yun nga, yung sa hypothetical competitors. Competitor A enjoy the highest market share but it is slipping. Its mind share and heart share are also slipping. Probably because it's not providing good products availability and technical assistance. Competitor B is steadily gaining market share, probably due to strategies that are increasing its mind share and heart share. Competitor C seems to be stuck at a low level of market mind and heart share, probably because of its poor product and marketing attributes. So, nandyan sa may picture na makikita nyo yung sa mga, ayan nga yung market shares at yung market mind share and heart share nila. So, para sa akin, it is important na lahat ng mga market na yan, yung kung ano nung share na yan, is magkaka-connected or dapat sa isang company mo, yan yung dapat na sinasaalang-alang mo. Para, ayun, maganda lang, maayos. Hindi pwedeng sa market share ka lang, sa mind share lang yung iniisip mo, heart share, dapat lahat yan konektado or lahat yan ginagamit mo siya. Alternative approaches to positioning. The competitive brand positioning model we've reviewed in this chapter is a structured way to approach position based on depth consumers, company, and competitive analysis. In alternate approaches to positioning, we are here brand narratives and storytelling. Rather than outlining specific attributes or benefits, some marketing experts describe positioning a brand as telling a narrative or story. So, yung sa brand narratives and storytelling, yung iba kasi ang ginagawa nila na outlining is nilalagay nila yung specific attributes or yung benefits na makukuha mo dito sa product na yon. So, may mga marketing na expert na dinedescribe nila yung positioning ng brand nila nagmulan nung product na yon. Companies like the richness and imagination, they can derive from thinking of the story behind a product or service. So, yung mga riches nga, at yung imaginations nila, nakakapag-isip sila ng mga story behind the product or service. Behind do sa product na yun or service na yun, kumbaga parang kwento behind the story. Behind do sa product na yun or sa service na yun. To have sharpened in marketing and positioning, Jim Beam, with its namesake Jim Beam and Maker's Mark brand, hired a group of professional storytellers best known for weekly public radio broadcasting to kick off a 3-day biannual gathering of its marketing teams. So, ayan, yung nasa picture is yung example ng Jim Beam. Ayan, sabi dito, Jim Beam has used professional storytelling tellers to sharpening its marketing and positioning. So, yun yung strategy yung ginamit niya is yung storytellers. Nabanggit dito yung about sa mga TV, radio, and broadcast. Yung parang sa advertisement, which is yung parang napapanood natin at sa mga TV or kaya binobroadcast siya into televisions or sa TV. Which is, ayan nga. Yun yung way of strategic niya para mas makagain siya ng customers niya. Hindi niya nilagay yung mga pwede mong makuha or benefits na makukuha mo dun. Pero kinuwento niya yung pinagbulan nung JM Benz, or yung Jim Beam, kung paano ito nabuo. Ayun. Yung story about dito. Next, cultural branding. Douglas Holt believes that for companies to build iconic leadership brands, they must assemble cultural knowledge, strategize according to cultural branding principles, and hire and train cultural experts. The University of Wisconsin Craig Thompson views brand as social cultural templates, citing research investigating brand as cultural resources. ESPN Zone restaurant tap into competitive masculinity, for instance, and American Girls tap into mother-daughter, the relationship and the cross-generation transfer of humanity. Experts who see consumers actively creating brand meaning and positioning even refer to this as brand wikification, given the wikis are written by contribution from walks of life and point of view. So, yung sa cultural building, yung sa mga iconic, yung mga sa mga leadership na nakaraang panahon, yung alam mo yun, yung sa may kultura natin. Yung sa pagkakaroon ng kulturang parang sa pagbabrand ng mga kultura natin, dapat hindi yun mawala. Isa si Douglas Holt na naniniwala na ang companies ay mabibuild natin into iconic if we are doing the cultural branding. Training and branding for a small business. Building brands is a challenge for a small business with limited resources and budgets. Nevertheless, numerous success stories exist of entrepreneurs who have built their brands up essentially from scratch to become powerhouse brands. Consider the global success of Uniqlo. So, isa daw sa isang example ng small business ay ang Uniqlo. Sabi rito, ang pag-build ng isang brand na nagsisimula sa small business ay sobrang hirap. Lalo na kung limitado lang ang resources at yung budget mo. Pero may isa ditong business which is yung Uniqlo na nagpapatunay na numerous success stories natin nag-i-exist siya o yung entrepreneur na yun nag-build from scratch galing sa pinakamababa up until ngayon na naging powerful sila. So, pag-usapan natin kung bakit nga ba naging successful ang Uniqlo. Uniqlo founded by Tadashi Yanai, now the wealthiest person in Japan. Uniqlo, short for Unique Clothing Warehouse. So, ibig sabihin ng Uniqlo is Unique Clothing Warehouse. has followed its mission statement and credo of made for all. Ayan, meron nga table dyan na 10.4. Table 10.4 nga daw is tignan nyo. And makita nyo dyan yung table na yon. To become a brand with the goal of reaching $50 billion in sales in 2020 and becoming the #1 retailer in the world. Uniqlo stand out by not standing out, heavily inspired in its early days by the Gap and its one-time president Mickey Drexler. The company expressly states that it does not want to be in the fashion game of chasing ever-changing trends. With a strong technology emphasis, the company focuses on continual process improvement and the creation of new, innovative products. Its signature mix of fleece, synthetic, thermal underwear, down jackets, jeans, and other basics is designed to capture the essence of each type of product. Uniqlo feels it provides the perfect components for its customers' everyday lives. Product they can combine in different ways to create their own unique expression. The company's marketing strategy combines active social media campaign with aggressive in-store activities to connect with customers and pull them into the stories. So, ibig sabihin, meron din nakalagay dito, by being inclusive and focusing on how its product can fit into customers' everyday lives, Uniqlo has experienced remarkable growth. So, yung Uniqlo kasi, hindi sila sumasabay sa uso or hindi dahil kung ano yung trend, yun yung binibenta nila. So, ang binibenta nila is yung something na magagamit talaga natin sa pang-araw-araw natin. So, nakalagay nga dyan is yung mga signature mix of plants, synthetic thermal underwear, down jacket. So, ayan, nakikita nyo naman dyan yung Uniqlo is halo-halo siya. So, hindi lang siya, isa lang yung binibenta nila, kundi halo-halo. Tapos, everyday pa natin siyang nai-use. Diba, alam mo yun? Nakalagay kasi dyan is in-store activities to connect with customers and pull them into the store. So, ibig sabihin, yung binibenta nila is konektado dun sa customers na yun. So, ibig sabihin, kaya sila nag-grow or mas lalo silang naging trending or mas lalong lumaki yung sale nila is dahil inisip nila yung tingin nila napapatok, which is yung mga pangangailangan at yung daily use ng mga customers natin. So, ayun, yung Uniqlo nga is naka-experience ng remarkable growth. Lumawak sila. So, ayun, meron dito, yan yung table 10.4, nabanggit ko nga, nakalagay dyan. Uniqlo made for all credo. Uniqlo made for all. So, babanggitin ko yung nakalagay dito. It doesn't matter who you are or where you live. Uniqlo makes clothes that transcend all categories and social groups. Our clothes are made for all, going beyond age, gender, occupation, ethnicity, and all the other ways that define people. Our clothes are simple and essential yet universal, so people can freely combine them with their own unique styles in any way they choose every day of the year. Everything we do is rooted deeply in our Japanese origin, always aspiring the excellence in quality design and technology. Everything we do is rooted deeply in our Japanese origin, always aspiring to excellence in quality design and technology. However, we will always ensure that our clothes are affordable and accessible to everyone. Uniqlo is a way of thinking that's about constant change, diversity, and challenging conventional wisdom. At Uniqlo, we believe that everyone can benefit from simple, well-designed clothes, because if all people can look and feel better every day, then maybe the world can be a little better too. So yun, yung Uniqlo, ginawa yun para sa lahat. Ano man yung kasarian mo, ano man yung edad mo, sa ka man napabilang, ano mang trabaho meron ka, or kung ano ka mang klaseng tao, pwede ka sa kanila. Dito nga sabi nila, our clothes are simple and essential yet universal. So yung kanilang clothes ay simple, pero pangkalahatan para sa lahat. So, unique siya, makakagawa ka ng mga styles. So, yung marketing strategy nila is okay kasi pumatok naman sa mga masa. So, may sabi din nila, because if all people can look and feel better every day, they maybe the world can be a little better too. So, kung sila, yung taong yun, is magmumukha silang better sa araw-araw na yun, pwedeng yung mundo ay maging okay din or maging better also. So, ayun, sabi, when resources are limited, focus and consistency in marketing programs become critically important. Creativity is also paramount, finding new ways to market new ideas about product to consumers. So, yan, here are some specific branding guidelines for small business. So, yan, para sa mga nagbabalak mag-business, ito yung mga branding guidelines na kailangan nyo sundin. Sabi nga dito, pag maliit or limited lang yung resources mo, doon ka mag-focus sa consistency ng market mo or kung ano yung needs o yung tingin mong importante sa nasasakupan or ng tao. And yung also, yung creativity mo. Maghanap ka ng mga bagay sa market mo ng bago sa idea or yung bago na yun nga yung new ways market, new ideas about product to consumers, yung bagong produkto kung saan mapapano yung mga customers mo. Lagi nating isasaalang-alang yung kung ano yung mas nakakabuti sa customers natin, just like Uniqlo. See, naging successful sila. So ayan, parang meron dito mga specific branding guidelines for small business. Parang kumbaga tip to para sa mga nagbabalak magkaroon ng small businesses. Unang-una sa listahan is find a compelling product or service performance advantage. As for any brand, demonstrable, meaningful difference in product or service performance can be the way to success. Upstart Dropbox.com must carve out a strong position in the face of a slew of competitors large Microsoft and small box that also offer consumers a means to conventionally store massive amount of documents, photos, videos, and other files, in part by virtue of its convenient single folder approach to accommodate multiple devices for a user. Sabi nga, yun nga, maghanap ka ng product or services na, alam mo yung mapaperform or may advantage yung bagay na yun. Focus on building one or two strong brand based on one or two key associations. Small business often must rely on only one or two brand and key association as point of difference of them. This association must be consistently reinforced across the marketing program and over time. Rooted in the snowboarding and surfing cultures, Volcom has adapted the youth agents against establishment credo that has resulted in a steady sale of its music, athletic apparel, and jewelry. So, ayun, sa focus on building, mag-anap ka ng mga bagay, isa o dalawang tingin mo strong brand siya dun sa dalawang key association mo. Number 3, encourage product or service trial in any way possible. A successful small business has to distinguish itself in ways consumers can learn about an experience. One way is to encourage trial through sampling, demonstration, or any means to engage consumers with the brand. See, Candice allows walk-in customers to sample any piece of candy in the shop they choose. As one senior executive noted, that the best marketing we have, if people try it, they love it. C's use all fresh ingredients and no other preservatives to create its enticing flavors. Develop cohesive digital strategy to make the brand bigger and better. One advantage of the internet is It allows small firms to have a larger profile than they might have otherwise. Urban Apartments, a property investment and management company from Royal Oak, Michigan, has a virtual prominence that far exceeds its real-world scope. The company boasts a resident pen blog touting a favorite Royal Oak destination, its own urban lobby social networking site for tenants, and active YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter profile sales for Rider Shack Surf Shop in Los Angeles increased when the firm began to emphasize Facebook and its promoted post service feature as a way to keep the brand in front of people. Mobile marketing can be especially important given the local nature of many small business. So, yung social media is nakakatulong din sa pagsisimula ng small business. Sabi nga nila, develop cohesive digital strategy to make the brand bigger and better. So, yung sa digital, make sure mo na yung brand mo magiging bigger, mas malaki, at mas maging better. Create buzz and a loyal brand community. Small business often must rely on word of mouth to establish their positioning, but they can find public relations, social networking, and low-cost promotions and sponsorship to be inexpensive alternatives. As discussed in Chapter 5, creating a vibrant brand community among current and prospective customers can also be a cost-effective way to reinforce loyalty and help spread the word to new prospects. Ever notice several dozen power users who serve as passionate ambassadors to spread the word about the personal organization application brand touted by the online company as everything in one place, external brain for its customers. And next, employ a well-integrated set of brand elements. Tactically, it is important for small business to maximize the contribution of all types of brand equity drivers. In particular, they should develop a distinctive, well-integrated set of brand elements, brand names, logos, packaging that enhance both brand awareness and brand image. Brand elements should be memorable and meaningful, with as creative potential as possible. Innovative packaging can substitute for ad campaigns by capturing attention at the point of purchase. Smart Food introduced its first product without any advertising by means of both a unique package that serves as strong visual symbols on the shelf and an extensive sampling program that encouraged trial. Proper names or family names, which often characterize small businesses, may provide some distinctiveness but can suffer in terms of pronounceability, meaningfulness, memorability, or other branding consideration. If this deficiency are too great, alternative brand elements should be explored. Next, leverage as many secondary associations as possible. Secondary association, any person, places, or things with potentially relevant association are often a cost-effective shortcut means to build brand equity, especially those that help to signal quality or credibility. In 1996, J. Darius, week of launch, an electrolyte enhanced line of bottled water called Smart Water, followed in 2 years by the introduction of vitamin water, a vitamin enhanced and flavor alternative to plain bottled water, and by brute water 2 years after that. Clever marketing, including endorsement deals with rapper 50 Cent, singer Kelly Clarkson, actress Jennifer Aniston, and football star Tom Brady, helped drive success. Less than 10 years after its launch, Jacobs Energy Brands Company, also known as Glacio, was sold to the Coca-Cola Company for about $4.2 billion in cash. Lastly, creatively conduct low-cost marketing research. A variety of low-cost marketing research methods help small business connect with customers and study competitors. You can see it on chapter 4. One is to set up course projects at local colleges and universities to access the expertise of both the students and professors. Many online options exist though. Unlike major brands that often have more resources at their disposal, small businesses usually do not have the luxury of making mistakes and must design and implement marketing program much more carefully. Okay, the last picture is the vitamin water in part through endorsement from popular entertainment and athletes. Ayan yung sikat na iniinom ng mga athletics tsaka ng mga entertainers. Ayan. So, sobrang sikat niya na ngayon. So, that's all for our report pala. So, ayan. I hope may natutunan kayo. Salamat.